What is happening is that we are having what are described as coup d'etats in former French colonies. But from where I sit, these are revolutions. The young men and women in uniform are rising up against a colonial power that refused to leave and continues to control their affairs. And because the civilians are helpless, they are coming out of the barracks and saying, we must put a stop to this continued colonization by the French. They control our politics, they control our economy, they control our resources. And what we must do, therefore, is to support these initiatives and ensure that the dividends that are earned are then converted very quickly into civilian rule. I'm one who will not condemn those coups because they have been necessitated by an overbearing neo-colonizer, the French.
So what needs to be done?
What needs to be done is that people must reclaim their territory. Those who are elected into public office must stop being pawns in the political chessboard of neo-colonizers. They must serve their people. They must do what is in the interest of their people, whether it's in Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, or Niger, or Chad. If they don't do that, then young men and women who are dissatisfied, who can see their countries being raped, will continue to rise up in the manner that they are. That would be a very unfortunate step. In fact, those who observe are now seeing ECOWAS as an agent of imperialist powers, and I hope that sense will prevail and that dialogue will be allowed to take place, and that these individuals who have seized power militarily for a good cause will then be allowed to midwife the transition to civilian rule.
How safe are East African leaders from similar coups?
I believe that there is a sense in which many of the East African countries have continued to conduct elections which give and take are credible, and therefore the possibility of coup d'etats is very minimal in this part of the world. If you look at Tanzania, Kenya, or Uganda, they'll always be grumbling about the quality of elections, but the people are engaged, and they, to a large extent, do believe that governance, although not perfect, is largely acceptable. Of course, it is important, as Nyerere, who is my mentor, used to say, it is always important that when you leave office, God should give you the grace to live to see others governing, because you are not successful until your successor succeeds. When I mean that when we are given the opportunity to vote, many times we vote into office men who are known to be corrupt. We vote for men and women who are known to play the ethnic card. We vote for men and women who we know are not patriots. And when they behave in an unpatriotic fashion, then we are surprised. What goes in is what comes out. Garbage in, garbage out. That is the reality of the world. We should not be shifting loyalty or having loyalty with anybody or to anybody. We should be loyal to ourselves. And when we are loyal to ourselves, then we will engage with the world on terms that are favorable to us and to them. We should not shift loyalty to anybody. Who says we must be loyal to anybody? We are not children of a lesser God. You know, the situation in Sudan is most unfortunate, and I personally have written to all heads of states and government to convene an urgent meeting to deal with the situation in Sudan, and not only in Sudan. We know what is happening in the Cameroons, we know what is happening in the Sahelian region. An urgent meeting ought to take place. And I'm looking to senior statesmen in Africa, such as President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to provide the leadership in that regard. The AU, as presently constituted, is a very weak body. The Secretariat is weak, is underfunded, and it doesn't do the right thing at the right time. We are seeing a deluge of refugees crossing into Chad, crossing into South Sudan, into Uganda, into Ethiopia, into Egypt, and this must not be allowed to continue.